Hello, it's Lexi again. Today we're going to be discussing misogyny, queerness, and small bits of spirituality that are hidden in the midst of the color purple. But first, like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video so the channel can grow, girl. You know you want to. The 2023 adaptation is based on the Color Purple musical, which first premiered in 2005 to 2008, earning 11 Tony Award nominations in 2006. The audience is met with the protagonist, Celie, who is already disgraced with the misfortune of being abused and M-worded by her own father. The abuse that takes place leaves her to bear two of his children, which are swiftly taken away from her as soon as she gives birth. We are consumed by disgusting topics, but the only thing that is going for her is the loving, lighthearted relationship she has with her sister Nettie. The film takes place during the early 1900s, showcasing the Jim Crow segregation and misogyny of that time period. We are introduced to a scene of Celie's father practically shipping her off to some unknown strange man. Celie is quickly discarded due to the neglect of her educational pursuits, and others talk down on her, referring to her dark skin as ugly, referring to her as unwanted. Whilst living with the strange man called Mr., she is then subjected to more inhumane treatment at the hand of another man, feeding and cleaning babies that aren't hers and satisfying a man that she herself did not choose to be with. Many critics were displeased of the depiction of black men in this novel and adaptation alike, detailing the reinforcement of age-old stereotypes of black men as brutal and aggressive. Though I'm not in favor of these stereotypes as well, but for the tragedy and the just overall message of the novel, I think Alice Walker really introduced different themes of misogyny, of colorism, of hatred into the book that unfortunately was at the hands of a man. We see the character Celie undergo years of gloom and despair when suddenly her life seems to change for the better and shows some feign of improvement. Upon the audience's introduction to Shug Avery, she is categorized as a free-spirit, loose woman with no ambitions other than singing the blues around the country. The audience is then overcome by her charming, good looks, alcoholism, and optimistic spirit, even brightening the darkest places that was Celie's heart. Instantly, Celie was in awe of Shug's gleaming appearance and her fighter spirit. For once, Celie had someone to view her in a light that was not only positive, but beautiful, something that she's never experienced before. There are many critics of the film's adaptation of Shug and Celie's relationship, not detailing the delicate fortitude of their union, but only deducting it to a measly kiss. Personally, I would have loved to see a little bit more romance, a little bit more sex, if you know what I'm saying. But the most recent adaptation was made in 2023, and it was PG-13, which I think they just wanted to showcase it for everybody to be somewhat digestible, but I would have loved a little bit more scissoring, you know. Hollywood is still so far away from accurately depicting queer romance and queer love stories that aren't around, violence and craziness and chaos. So, we're slowly moving in some sort of direction, even if it's years and years and years and years. But with that, I digress. I personally love this part of the movie when you see Celie get poured into for the first time in her life by Shug, and she really just highlights all of the things that Celie is overlooked on. She highlights her look, she highlights how great of a person she is, and how well she takes care of everyone. She needs to take care of herself, honestly. Celie gets poured into for the first time in her life that doesn't involve the level of labor she produces or how well she cooks. She matters even without all the work that she does. No matter how much she's abused, how dark she is, she's still beautiful and still has value. Towards the end of the film, we see that Shug's fiery spirit lights a match inside Celie, and she finally stands up to Mr. I love the parting words she says to Mr. as she's ushered off into her new life, stating, "Until you do right by me, everything you think of is going to crumble." Child. I really love this because, She didn't do no harm by him. She didn't do anything extra crazy. She just spoke words. And that's how powerful the tongue is. That's how powerful words are. So when you say certain things, just be wary that what you can say might come true. So be careful what you wish over yourself, what you wish over your family, your friends. Always speak light and positivity. Even if you don't necessarily believe it, just speak it, because you never know what those words can translate to. And when I tell you the way Mister's life crumbled, baby, you would have thought she was into the obia, girl. Like, God was really on her side. But even after seeing her suppressor's demise, going off to live a great life, she still somehow mustered up forgiveness. I was watching the movie like, wow, this man is a sole source of her physical pain and mental anguish, yet she still has some forgiveness for him. That just shows you how kind and how humble she is and how godly she is. I think that a lot of the movie, it highlighted so much going on in her life, so much turmoil, so much tumultuous stuff going on, from the most extreme factors of life, abuse, sexual abuse, marital abuse, financial abuse, all these types of different things that could have tore her down to make her really just miserable. You look around, you can look in your own family dynamics. You could see, that one auntie that's a little bit more miserable, and there's nothing about her that is positive. She always has to point out the negative. You're just like, I don't want to be around her. She's always negative. She's always talking bad about people. I don't want to be around her. That's who Celie could have turned into. She could have been that person that was just like, oh my God, woe is me. Only focusing on the doom, only focusing on the struggles that she's endured, but instead she chose to turn everything into positive, knitting, cooking, helping out her friend Sophia, everything, and even her holding on to that faith that one day she's going to meet her children, one day she's going to see Nettie again. That's what carried her into a new life. And I really took that to heart when I was watching the movie. Like, this year I've definitely had my faith tested multiple times. And, even still making videos, putting myself out there, I always think, like, what is it for? But I have some weird feeling of, I want to do this. I want to put out content. I want to speak my truth. I want to just get out here and talk about my stuff, girl, But it's like, why? What's the driving force behind you? And I feel like for me, it's God. Like, I've always wanted to do this for as long as I can think of. And there was a point in time where I was doing it. But now I want to be more consistent. And watching the movie, I was just like, girl, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. Even when life when you seem like life is just seamlessly beating you up and life is just only singling you out, maybe everyone's going through it in their own different, unique way, It only matters about what you do to get out of that point and what you do to move forward. I just really love this movie so much. The first original movie, I'm not gonna lie, I watched it, but girl, I was really trying hard to watch it. It was giving snooze fest in some in some scenes, because just the like older movies, and it was just hard to follow the dialogue and follow what was going on. I was like, girl, who's this? What's going on? But this movie was digestible, like, for any age group, and it was also just a great look on the adaptation, a great new perspective. I know a lot of people had a lot of things to say, different qualms about the movie, but I personally loved it. Let me know if you guys watch the movie. I would really suggest you guys watch the movie and see the little messages that you get. And comment down below, do you like the movie? Need it to be another color purple? Let me know. Guys, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, y'all. Peace. And let's just get into the looks, child, honey. I was like, whoever was in the wardrobe budget, whoever was in the wardrobe period knew what they were doing when they came together and did these press looks. Like, everyone looks so amazing. Everyone looks so beautiful. Literally crying just looking at them. Like, they look amazing.